Here we have the hourly price chart for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. In this video, we'll kind of re-summarize the trading activity that happened last week and try to get some perspective here on what is most likely to occur during the upcoming week so that we can establish some better positioned trading entries. So as we can see here, the stock really traded much higher into the end of the week, which is somewhat surprising in some ways because there was a significant amount of selling pressure that was experienced throughout the market during really the second half of last week's trading sessions. The S&P 500 really started to see major declines on Thursday. The Nasdaq, the Dow, all of these major indices were trading sharply lower, and there was a lot of selling pressure that really added a lot of weight to the technology sector in particular. We did see some massive declines there in technology stocks. Nvidia was trading much lower. Tesla really had some major turning points after a prior rally. Facebook, Meta stock traded sharply lower and really closed the week at near its lows. There was a lot of damage done to the Meta stock chart, and you can watch my prior videos on that if you'd like to see what happened there. But there really was kind of a bloodbath in some stocks that was a bit worrisome. And what we can see here in GameStop is that the same type of trading activity really did not occur. We didn't exactly close at the highs here, but we did kind of post new near-term highs, and we closed relatively close to those highs. So if we go back to the Friday trading session, this would be during the time period when some stocks were kind of attempting to recover. But not all of those major tech stocks were successful, and we're talking about Mag 7 stocks here. These are mega cap stocks, very large companies that are supposed to be stable stock choices in the market, and things like that. So I just find it kind of interesting here that the meme stocks are actually faring a bit better. You can look at my other video on AMC because similar activity occurred there as well. I think that what we're seeing in GameStop is a little bit more encouraging when compared to AMC. However, so I think this activity is interesting here. And I would like to hear what people think about the differences here between what we saw last week with the major mega cap stocks and these, potential short squeeze meme stocks, because the downside was just not as forceful in stocks like AMC and GameStop. As much as when you're comparing these trading activities to Meta Platforms, Nvidia. There were many major stocks in the tech sector that didn't fare very well last week and really didn't close very well either. We kind of closed near the lows. So overall, this is encouraging activity here. And then we do have the fact that we did break some major highs here. If we're looking at the prior highs that were posted on June 27th, in previous videos, I've mentioned this 2670 level, as well as this 2650 level that marked the highs roughly that posted on July 10th. So this 2650 to 70 level was very important in my view last week. And we did manage to see a break above here. I mean, we didn't get a close above here. I would have preferred to have seen that. But we do have to remember that there was a lot of selling activity going on in the market. And that does scare people. I mean, it does kind of inspire people to close out their positions as a safety measure. But for the most part, we didn't really see that. Uh, the ultimate highs here that were posted during the Friday trading session came in at 2689. So just below the 2690 mark. Overall, this was just a spike high, so it's not as good as it could have been. But I think it is encouraging that we are sort of grinding through these upper price levels here, because what it really shows is that we're not seeing short selling start to emerge here. There's a lot of discussion about the $30 level and whether or not short sellers are going to start to, kind of enter into the market in a more forceful way once we approach that level. I am curious about what people think here. Do you think that, the short sellers are kind of waiting for a rally sort of back to this $30 mark before they start, establishing their positions? I mean, what is their game plan? I mean, it does make a lot of sense to try to visualize what the other side of the market is likely to do. It doesn't. I don't think it's really, completely constructive to just focus on one side here. I mean, if you're just focusing on the bullish side of the argument, a lot of YouTubers just kind of focus on like what are the positives here, what are the reasons to believe that a short squeeze might happen. I do think it's important to look at both sides here. And in my view, the real question is, where are the short sellers? Where are they going to, start to establish their positions once again? I do think that this break above this 2650, 2670 level was interesting. We didn't see any major short selling here, even during circumstances where, the broader market was selling off. Like you could have seen that work as kind of an excuse to start establishing short positions, but this really didn't come to be. This didn't really come to fruition. We really did close relatively close to the highs here. We're not quite there at the highs, and we didn't see a close above this 2650 to 2670 level. But we did grind through sell orders that were in place there. So, in my view, the short sellers are going to have to take a step back here, and at the very least, start to focus on the $30 level. There's not much here as far as resistance is concerned to start to be concerned about, in the upper 20s. We really don't see very much here as far as historical resistance levels in these areas. I mean, we can go back to this would be the June 14th high comes in at 29.10. And then from there, the prior high, June 14th, posted, this would be just above $30 per share. So this would be 30.66. So, we do have a bit of a series of highs here, right around the 30 level, just before the 30 level, and then just after it. But, in my view, this is really the next question. I mean, I'm not really seeing much here in this chart, which shows a major resistance zone in these upper 20s. So if you were a short seller, I'm curious what people think about this. I mean, if you were a short seller, where would you establish your position? I don't really see anything here to point to in the upper 20s. You could maybe look at the high from June 17th, which came in at 28.37. So there's a bit of resistance there. But if we look back on this chart, I mean, that resistance was really created by the moving average cluster, and we've currently moved above the moving average cluster. So, my kind of faith in that level is working as far as a strong point to start selling the stock would be limited. I just don't think it would be a very strong position for the short sell side of the market to be taking. So I am curious what people think here. What do you think about the fact that GameStop did actually prove to be a safer stock, even when the rest of the market was selling off? I think that's a bit interesting. And then where do you think the short sellers are likely to emerge next? Where do you think that the sell orders are likely to start coming out in full force? So here's the current market update for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME.